Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Emma.
Darling, how are you?
I'm very, very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm great on this public holiday in Melbourne. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
yes, it's great to be here. How's your weekend been?
It's been busy, my love. It's been good but busy. We've had a couple of play dates, couple of sleepovers, boys everywhere, boys. But it's been lovely, and we've had some good weather as well. So that always makes it a lot easier with the two
Yes,
boys. That's for
yes,
sure. What about
yes.
you, my darling? How about you?
I've had a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. We had we've got some visitors from the US for the Your Two Minds, from the Your Two Minds community. So we had a Your Two Minds celebration day yesterday at some wineries, and it was very lovely. I want to say a special shout out to our beautiful followers, everybody that has given us their support in the past week. Thank you so much. We've had so many people, ask us to do this podcast, to continue to do it. So I'd like to welcome everybody that's here live. I know some of you may not be able to get on live because it is a public holiday in Australia. So some of you will be watching the recording. Welcome. If you're on live, welcome. If you're watching the recording, it's great to have you here. If you are with us live, please send us a comment. Put a comment in the comment box below. We would love to hear from you. We want to know who you are, where you're from. Give us a hell yeah. We're ready to get started. Give us your name. Your name and your country. We would love to see you. Because we're broadcasting through a few different platforms, a few different Facebook groups, we may not be able to see all of your comments, but please do put one down and we'll see whether it comes through to us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited about today.
Fantastic.
So, last week we spoke about self-image and why it's so important, and we gave our listeners, our viewers, a little bit of homework. We sent out an email with that homework too, and the homework was for you to have a look at, reflect on your own life, reflect on your own self-image, and the results that you've had in your life, and to see any patterns. I wonder who's done the homework. If you've done the homework, tell me. We've done the homework in the comments below. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, beautiful. I can't wait.
Yeah. And I loved your story, Emma, sharing of, how self-image changed your life and your boy's life, and, using this material, with kids.
Yeah, definitely. And look, I'm excited to share some more with you today, especially when we start talking about being the star of your own life, which is something that you opened my eyes to a couple of years ago, and has been so impactful on how I live my life and how I live every day, and the risks that I take, and just treating every day like I am the star of my own show. So I'm excited to get into that today.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the theme of today. So, this is the Your Superstar Self-Image podcast. And when we set out to do our workshop, we had a lot of people say, yeah, but I'm not a superstar. And, I feel intimidated by just the theme superstar. So we thought it'd be really good to speak about that today, and to, share with people what we think being a superstar is. So it's exactly, what Emma has shared, being the star of your life. And so often we're so caught up in our roles and responsibilities, the role of being mum, dad, manager, owner of businesses, or going to work, bread keeper, paying off the mortgage, whatever it is. that we put everything else first and we forget to be the star. So, yeah. What does being the star of your life mean for you, Em?
Look, I think for me, when you first sort of introduced that idea to me, it really resonated because I was really concerned about what everyone else was thinking. You know, whether especially with my personal training business, I was really fearful to do live videos or to talk about why I got into personal training or to put myself out there and, you know, have a bit of fun or be silly because I was worrying about what everybody else was thinking. And it's funny because you then sort of said, you know, one day we were chatting and you were talking to the group about, you know, stop playing small, start being the star of your own show, you know, stop being a bit player like a supporting cast member. This is it. This is your one opportunity. And I remember just like that just hitting home for me. And I thought, why am I caring about what anybody else thinks? This is my life. I've got one shot to be the star, the superstar in my own life. And it was that was a really big moment for me because I was able to just do what I wanted, be silly on my social media platform for my business, or do some videos and some lives and to talk about why I wanted to start moving my body because of, you know, what had happened with my mum and sharing that vulnerability and just waking up every day, embracing the day and knowing that this is my time to be the superstar, baby. So that was a massive aha moment for me.
Yeah, so powerful. I love what you shared. And we were speaking a little bit about that in the morning session this morning at Your Two Minds, how we are so worried about what other people think, you know, and it's just crazy. And also those roles that are embedded in our minds, you have to be this and you have to be that and you have to be this way. Why? You know,
Yeah.
and I love what you said. We only have one go at this, and you know, before we know it, and whether we live to 100, 120, whatever, 80, whatever it is, it goes quick.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it seems to speed up, to be honest. Like
It does, doesn't it?
June. It's June
It's already
already.
June. Well, mid-June, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's the perfect time now to, you know, reassess. And something that you always say to me, which I love, is, you know, look at where you're at without any judgment and just take stock and what can you do better and how can you, you know, spend the next, say, 3 months, the next quarter, you know, achieving or making steps towards your dream. And I love that because you're right. There, you know, people do sometimes get intimidated by, you know, maybe talking live or putting themselves out there. But it's those small steps, isn't it, that you take? And what's that beautiful quote you've said to me before about going into the cave? I do love that quote about how the treasures are found.
Yes. So the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. So it's a Joseph Campbell quote. Yeah, it's a very powerful quote. So the cave that you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. Yeah.
I love that. And I often, you know, if I have hesitation in my business, I often will think about that because, I think people, you're right, we worry too much about, and who are those people that we're worrying about? And what are they doing with their life? Like, are they the superstar of their own life? You know, why are we worrying?
Exactly. Very interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. So, you know, for our beautiful viewers, I see people coming on and off? Do put a little message. Tell us where you're from, and what does it mean for you to be the star of your life? What does it mean if you were the star of your life? Now, a lot of people, when I ask this question, particularly to women, they're like, oh, but I can't be the star of my life. I'm a mother. I have children. I have responsibility. I have to put them first. This is not about you letting go of your responsibility. What I have found is when women start to be the stars of their lives, they actually become even better mothers, because they're teaching their children self-love. It's not about neglecting your loved ones. This is about really thinking deeply. If I was the star of my life, if that job did not, did not control me, if the mortgage, if my own paradigms in my mind, didn't prevent me from telling me that I'm small, who would I be? What does it mean for me to be the star of my life? And I love how this discussion has started. Life is going. It's going quickly. If we don't reflect on these questions now, then when are we? When are we? So a little clue is to think about if the negative self-talk did not stop you, if other people did not stop you, from fearing of what other people would say, if you didn't have to worry about anything other than being the best version of you, what would that mean? What would it mean if you could really look at yourself in the mirror, in your eyes, and just say, God, I like you. God, I love you. What would that mean for you? How would you be living your life if you really, really loved yourself? Rather than look at, Hollywood superstar, I'm fascinated with the culture that we live in, especially in the Western world. Everyone's looking at the Kardashians and what is it? The Housewives. What is it?
Desperate Housewives.
Is it Desperate Housewives or I don't watch it. The reality show, something about the the housewives. Everyone's looking at television, media, and thinking that they're somehow inadequate. Thinking that these people they're watching are the stars, and in that comparison, they're losing themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
The Kardashians and all of that, we all, like so many people, even people our age that I've spoken to, look at these, famous people as their role models, and that's great. We all need role models, but what about you? What about you?
And I love that you touched on. Oh, sorry, darling.
Sorry, go ahead, Em.
No, I love that you touched on about the roles that we have, and that we worry about putting ourselves first because we worry that we're a mother or a daughter or but it's funny, isn't it? Because ever since I've been doing this work and now being the star of my own show, I've seen a huge change in my children. I have a better relationship with my children. I have a better relationship with my father. I have a better relationship with my sisters, with my friends, with work colleagues and my clients. I've definitely seen a shift in all of my relationships for the better. Even with my ex-husband. I mean, relationships that were challenging are now not as challenging because I think you stop sweating the small stuff because you can appreciate every day, working towards your goal, being the best version, knowing that you're the best in the world at what you do. And that's in all aspects of your life. And it's actually made me a better mother. I parent in a nicer way. I think it's being the superstar of your own life is being the superstar for everybody as well.
Yeah. And it's a different way of, showing up for everybody. It's away from, it's a place where your cup is full, where your heart is full, where where, you know, you are comfortable with yourself rather than needy, or rather than tired or burnt out or angry because you feel like you've been taken advantage of. It really, 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 it's like self-image and being the star of this beautiful thing called life. You know, we forget. And before we know it, we're 80, 90, you know, 100, whatever. We forget that we are here. This life is a gift to us. It's a gift. And we are a gift to life. And what does that mean? What does that mean for you, that you are a gift to this thing called life? What does it mean to you that life is a gift to you? And, you know, this self-image, so I love self-image work. I love, hi, Effie, so great to have you here. Absolutely love Effie. Just a beautiful, beautiful soul. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us. But I absolutely love self-image work because I have seen the changes in my clients over and over and over again. And everything that you've got is within you. It starts from within you. Everything that you want already exists within you. When you understand that, you start to see life. You start to see your business. You start to get results that you've never, ever had before. It's a whole different playing game. And I want to share just my own personal story, but I also want to share, you know, my experience working with you too, Emma, because that took self-image to a different level for me too. So I've always been, you know, the self-image queen, you know, in my coaching and the way that I work with people. But I want to share my personal story first. In the past couple of months, because I've been presented with some challenges that have been absolutely extraordinary and some weird stuff that we couldn't find a solution to. And I, like most women, you know, we like to feel good, we like to look good. And out of nowhere, I had a condition that we're still trying to get to the bottom of, where my face just kept swelling and swelling and swelling. And I was literally unidentified, like you couldn't identify me, literally, you know. It was, whenever I'd look in the mirror, I'd be shocked. I would be shocked because it did not look like me, you know, just massive swelling. And it's something that you just couldn't ignore. So I had the choice to either lock myself up at home and not go anywhere, or live my life and love my life and be in the present moment. And I think this has been one of the biggest lessons. Although self-image was so important to me even before then, I really learned what self-image was during that time. It was absolutely horrendous. And I just chose to live my life anyway. And there were a few times when, you know, after going to doctor's appointments, my partner, Mark, and I would just have a laugh at photos of me, you know, and what I look like. We just chose to laugh. But I remember a profound moment when I was walking down the street. I went to this supermarket, couldn't hide unless I put a balaclava on my face, right? But I was walking down the street and I just chose to have my head up high. And it wasn't always easy. I did have moments where I was crying and, you know, what the hell is going on? And there are no solutions. And, you know, there was elements of fear and all of that stuff. And there's still a little bit of that fear in me, you know, I'm moving through it. And I remember, though, you know, I went to the supermarket, got the groceries and was walking back home and, you know, probably people were staring or not, I don't know. But I chose to have my head up, and inside me there was a profound, deep love for me and a pride of who I am. And it just felt so good. And that moment, I realized what self-image really was. And it wasn't the way that I looked, although we all want to look great. And, you know, I'll always do my best to look great. It feels good. But it wasn't about that at all. I really realized deep down inside me that self-image was the relationship I had with myself, no matter what. No matter what I look like, no matter what the external situation had dealt me, no matter what circumstance I was going through, whether it was fearful, stressful, whether I looked stunning or unrecognizable, the deep love and respect that I had for myself at that moment was just enormous. And every time I'd look in the mirror, although it was scary to look at, I looked at myself deep in my eyes and just said, God, I love you. I love you so much. And this is what we're talking about when it comes to self-image. It's not the Kardashians. It's not, having the right lipstick or the eyelashes or the fake hair or whatever, okay? That is great. We enjoy that. I enjoy those things too. But that's not the confidence we're talking about. Being a star of your life means that you deeply love yourself. You love this gift that you've been given, this life that you've been given, no matter what. Whether you've got the eyelashes or the hair or whatever, your lipstick or your nails are done or not.
I love that.
Yeah. So the question is, what is being the star of your life? What does it mean to you when all of the external is gone? Who are you? What do you love about yourself? Who do you want to be in this world? Because you can be anyone. As long as you're coming from the space of being yourself. When I say you can be anyone, don't compare. You are unique for a reason. So what is it to you? What do you need to change inside yourself, in your relationship with yourself, not with your husband, not with your children, not with your boss, but with you? What would it mean to you if you had deep swelling in your face and you became unrecognizable? Would the love for you still be there? Would you still be the star of your life? Or would you shrink? And it's okay to shrink from time to time. I cried a few times. Most of the time I chose to stay in the present, but there were times when I was also sobbing with fear, with what the hell is going on. But I chose to love myself regardless. So what does the star of your life mean for you? Who are you being the superstar of you, superstar of your life?
I love that, Suzana. I love that. And we were chatting throughout, and yeah, you were always showing up, and you were always so gracious and having a laugh and sharing the photos and inspirational. That was really, especially for me, I found that strength, that inner strength, something that you have to, tap into when times are tough. That inner love, such a great example of inner strength.
Yeah, because inner love doesn't come from what you look like, right? You love looking great. I love looking great. I love dressing up. I love seeing photos of me and my friends. But I love myself regardless. I loved myself so deeply when I look like literally a misfit or like I had been hit by a bus. That's what I look like, walking down that street and people looking at me. But I strutted my stuff. What does loving yourself mean for you? Do you just love yourself when you look good? Looking good is great. I'm not saying don't look good. We all love looking good. We all love a bit of makeup and dressing well. But it does not compete with the love deep within you, regardless. Loving yourself through the challenges, being the star of your life through the challenges. I was the star of my life, even though I looked deformed. So that's our homework for you all today. And I'd love to share also my experience of how this changed from just so loving yourself on the inside, first and foremost, is also loving your body, which means moving your body. And that's where, Emma, you have just gifted me so much. So about a year ago, so with lockdowns and all that, I stopped looking after myself. And I jumped on board to Emma's personal training classes, just 30 minutes. Okay, you're not going to get me in an hour training session anymore. I used to do it in my 20s, right? You know,
Yeah.
I just won't.
Short and sharp.
Half an hour a day with Emma absolutely transformed my life. Not only did my body start to look great, but on the inside, I felt great. And when I couldn't show up for your sessions, that energy, that lightness, it became that little bit heavier. So loving yourself is inside first, and loving yourself is not necessarily the image that you have. That's the secondary part. We all have an image. We all love to look great, but that's the secondary part. But it's the whole, it's from the inside, and it's the physical activity also that Emma's work does.
Yeah, definitely. And, we've spoken about how your mind is better when your body is active. And when you were talking before, I was thinking that's something I talk to my clients about is I don't want them to focus on how they look. It's about getting stronger. It's about getting faster. It's about getting more flexibility. We don't focus on weight or any of that side. It's all about moving your body, staying active, staying present in the moment, and enjoying the process of moving and being strong and being fit. And yeah, that resonated actually when you were just saying about how we all like to, obviously when you look away you might feel better. For me, it's when I'm strong. That's when I feel my happiest.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the inside, isn't it? Inside out.
Yeah, definitely.
So the question is, are you the star of your life? And if you're not, this is an opportunity for you to become the star of your life. And we've shared our little stories, and we would like to continue to share stories in this podcast. But the homework for today is, are you the star of your life? And what would it mean to you to be the star of your life? And it's not necessarily about the way you look and the way you dress. That's secondary. We all love that. I got dressed up just for all of you today, and I feel great. I love my clothes, as does Emma. She's our stylist, top stylist. That's fun.
Yeah.
But what does it mean for you to really, really be the star of your life, inside out? That's your homework for today. We look forward to seeing you again, hopefully next week. And maybe we can go into some of the body work, Emma, the personal training and what that means for women, middle-aged women. So our Emma's going to be the star of the show next week.
Definitely. That sounds fabulous. Let's talk about metabolism.
Yes. Oh, that's going to be awesome. Metabolism.
Let's spike those metabolisms, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. Yes. Okay. So this week we're going inside out. What is at the star for you? Next week we're going to be talking about your beautiful, incredible metabolism.
Gorgeous. I love it.
Thank you so much. And remember, love yourself first. From the inside, create an image of who you truly are. Create the image of what it means to be the star of your life. And happiness will come. And next week, join us and Emma Ferris as she speaks about you and metabolism.
I love it. Gorgeous. Thanks, darling.
Thank you so much. Have a great week, everybody. Enjoy your public holiday if you're in Australia. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye, darling. Bye.